Every sneaker aficionado knows that in order to pleasure their feet properly, they must be protected by a proper beater. That sounds suggestive. Anyway, a sneaker that can stand the harsh conditions of going to the grocery store, picking up your little brother from track practice, or simply taking your good friend Bud for a walk. But not all beater sneakers are equal. Some even look better or at least have more character when worn in. And today, we take a look at those. What's up everybody, I'm THECASUAL, and these are the 7 best beater sneakers ever, at least from our perspective. Let's get it. As many of you have already become accustomed to, we gotta start with the 2 obvious on our list, and the first goes to the Vans era. We all know Vans era are basically predetermined to get beat. In fact, they are so predetermined that they look far better beat than they look new. That's up for debate, but you get my point. I mean, you actually might get made fun of for trying to keep a new crispy pair of Vans era. Like, why though? Part of the reason this is acceptable is because Vans eras are skate shoes, and skate shoes get beat all the time. On top of that, it's a sign of respect for the craft of skating, that is. As in, if you skate so much, your eras are busting out the seams, you're probably good. This has translated into style and fashion, and Vans themselves have even made vintage style eras to hasten the effect. That's always good. It's a fake beat. A phantom beat. Our second obvious goes to the Converse AllStar. Like the era, these are the sneaker that truly have far more character when you beat them, and beat them well. And this is because they're the first pure iconic basketball sneaker and are synonymous with Dr. J in NYC basketball courts. As a result, it's part of the equation that beat Converses are the way to go. And in fact, a shiny pair is a bit of a challenge. As we all know, they can complete a vintage look quite easily. Because if you walk in them at all, will just naturally start pulling apart. No amount of caretaking can prevent this from a Converse AllStar. Eventually, that toe box is gonna separate from the sole, and when that happens, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And to be completely honest, that's a good thing. Our next beater sneaker is one that I was lambasted for not giving much love to, but it is the hidden icon and it deserves a lot more appreciation, and that is the Puma Cloud. The Puma Cloud is quite possibly the best everyday street sneaker of all time. How so, you might ask? It's less intrusive than a shell toe, not promoted like a tennis shoe like a Stan Smith, connected to basketball and style icon Clyde Frazier, and most importantly, it was the first in many categories. We'll leave the details of that in another episode, but just know, as a beater sneaker, not many in the category can combine style and function so effortlessly, particularly over time. In fact, even here in Japan, the Puma Cloud is outworldly popular. Out of this world. What's great about the Puma Cloud is that they look great new and beat, making them a perfect choice for those who want options other than stuff made by Adidas and Nike. Which is kind of crazy because the next on our list is the Adidas Samba. See what I did there? Let's put it this way. The Adidas Samba looks dingy the minute you take them out of the box. So as a beater sneaker, it's basically what you get from the start. But make no mistake, the Samba is no slouch and iconic in its own right. Originally made as a soccer sneaker, its status has never been up for discussion. And while it does look good new and crispy, nothing beats a Samba with creasy character and blemishes. It's an excellent choice for vintage style looks and those commuter style looks as well. But it probably scores the highest in comfort. It's simply easy to wear and easy on your feet, especially as a low top where it's often a bit of a hit or miss unless you're talking New Balance. That said, the Samba may not get the love it deserves, but it's a hit in Europe, Japan, and parts of the US, so it certainly has its own unique position in the beater sneaker game. Rounding out the top 3 is the Jordan 1. That's right, I said it, the Jordan 1. Now, part of the reason the Jordan 1 is here is because for some reason it became a sneaker where people wanted to keep them crispy. Like, what are y'all doing? What are you doing? It's not like the Jordan 4 or Jordan 11 is what I'm saying, where keeping them clean is a matter of effing principle. No, Jordan 1s are essentially a high-tier Converse AllStar, and a pair that's broken in actually looks pretty good all things considered. This is because the leather settles in, right? Leather becomes supple and the creases crease up. It looks good. But in order for this to happen, you have to wear them. Since the inception of the new age of sneaker collection, keeping pairs clean became the norm, but we have to remember that Jordan 1 was once adopted by hardcore skaters. They tore them in pieces up. That's right, skaters beat the hell out of Jordan's 1 at one point, leading to its status as the most versatile beater sneaker ever. Why? Because of the amount of colorways and crossovers it has. So make no mistake, a crispy pair of Jordan 1s may look cool to you, but a worn-in pair is all the substance and style. Our number 2 beater goes to the Reebok Club C. The Club C is quite simply the best overall beater sneaker ever. Why, do you ask? It's as sleek as any other minimal sneaker in its class, it's durable as hell, and this is most important, you've likely never seen a fresh, clean pair ever. Like, you've probably seen pics of a new pair, but this sneaker's just old all the damn time. In fact, Reebok knew so much that this sneaker was better looking old that they went ahead and made a vintage pair straight out of the box, complete with that slight yellowing that the sneaker famously would turn into over time. The Club C is the best in culture and class as far as this list goes, and only the second on our list of best beaters of all time. And that being, you knew, the Air Force One. I mean, come on, right? I mean, this is probably expected by many of you. I mean, the Air Force One is iconic as a beater, and it would be silly not to put it here. But let's be real. It's not that they are the best looking beater. Far from it. In fact, I would go on to say that crusty Air Force Ones look absolutely horrible. They can lose you deets, numbers, making it a sure thing that you'll be beating your feet for a minute, especially if you black. I mean, I had to put it out there. I'm not trying to get racial, but I had to for this instance, because trying to rock a jack pair of Air Force Ones in a convo with somebody that you're trying to get with might end your whole life, your whole entire life. That said, no other sneaker has been known for its status as crispy and beat down than the Uptowns. Just lay out an old pair of Air Force Ones on the street. We've all seen it. If a white girl sees those, she's snatching them up immediately. Again, not racial, just an observation, but also speaks to the sneaker's immense appeal, whether old or new. Hell, even in Japan, the sneaker has the same range and deep popularity, old and new. And what's crazy, it's not like it's the best looking beat, as I mentioned before. Hell, a murdered out Air Force One, all black pair, almost always looks dusty out of the box, like it didn't even go through quality control. But because you can go to a restaurant job with them on, get off work, play 2 pickup games in the same work clothes no less, constantly pulling up your pants, and run home because you played 1 too many games and lost track of time in those same shoes, makes them a beater sneaker that has no equal. You can do anything in them and it works. They simply can't be beat, and can be beat for that matter. Truly, there is no better beater sneaker on the planet. Its status is ingrained in beatness. Whatever. And that's it. That's all I gotta say. But subscriber edition, what do you guys think? This is not an exhaustive list. So many sneakers just didn't make the cut. Like the Nike Blazer, the New Balance 574, SB Dunk, which is crazy it didn't make the cut. So we need help for part 2. Name your favorite beater sneakers you believe should make the cut on your edition, and it may appear in another video. Let it be known in the comments. But most importantly, keep it locked right here for all of your info in international fashion, culture, and business from Tokyo. It's your boy, and keep it casual. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu, and I will see you guys in a minute.